Hi, guys, welcome to another episode for the Bangalore Real Estate Podcast. It's been a while since I did the episode, but I want to be able to cover interesting topics in real estate in terms of Bangalore and how the field of real estate is moving and evolving. So, the topic of this podcast is going to be around the applications of hemp in real estate and the future of hemp products in general and how does it relate to in real estate. Hope you guys are doing well. This I'm going to get Ram over. We're going to talk about hemp and its products as I mentioned before. And yes, so I'll be waiting for Ram to come over right now. Keep watching, continue watching, or if this is on YouTube, just fast forward to different parts. So the whole point, it being from what I've heard from Ram, it's mostly affordable. Hemp products in real estate. There's something called as hempcrete apparently. So I'm going to get into it. Uh, and he was talking about the affordable real estate, affordable housing in real estate. Let's see what he means by that. I'm gonna get Ram Chandrasekhar for you guys. Ram, you need the latest version of Instagram apparently, bro. You need the latest version of Instagram apparently. Ram Chandrasekhar. Are you there, Ram? So, what's happening, guys? Since the last time we spoke, how has real estate changed? What are we looking at? Are you looking for any properties in Bangalore? Uh, any areas around Bangalore that is of interest to you? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. And yes, I'll probably wait for Ram to come over. Should I can this episode? Should I continue it? I just need some time. Probably, I wouldn't say this episode. I will get back when Ram is okay with some technical issue that we have right now. Yes, stay tuned. Hold up. Ram, you're invited, bro. So I've gotten you. Okay, wait. There you go. Reverse it.
Sorry about that.
What's happening?
My Instagram was not
No
updated.
problem, bro. So the whole reason we do it live
For that.
is so that it's easier. And yeah, we might have technical issues, but no problem. So what are we talking about today, Ram?
Well, the whole name of the episode is the future of hemp in real estate. So yeah, we're gonna try as much as we can to stick to that
Right.
topic, of course.
So people have
Hemp.
misconception around hemp, right? What kind of hemp are we speaking about, and how does it apply in real estate?
So first of all, the confusion between the two is hemp is marijuana and marijuana is hemp. It doesn't get you high, first of all. You smoke like a kg of hemp, also, you're not going to get a buzz. And basically, it's from the same plant. Cannabis is the plant. And from cannabis is where a member of the cannabis family is marijuana, which is, different street names. And the other member of the cannabis family is hemp. So the first main difference is the THC content, which gets you high. No, it's lesser than 0.3 percent. It's way lesser than that, 0.03%, if I'm not wrong. And that's the main difference. And this is mainly used for the industrial purpose rather than recreational purpose. Recreation, we already have our marijuana going there, but when it comes to the industrial part of it, we mostly focus on using hemp because CBD content in hemp is more, and that's what we need. That's the medicine value that is there in the seeds and etc. So in 1985, in 1985, they passed a law. Till 1985, it was all legal, and then they passed a law saying that marijuana is banned, right? But people thought cannabis and marijuana, cannabis, they didn't consider it to be that family and, member of the family, nothing like that. So they completely banned cannabis itself, which, started the limitation of hemp over there. And ever since, it's two states which have legalized it in India right now is Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh has recently made it legal, and Himachal Pradesh is on the verge. They're having talks, but it's the same belt, right? Himachal, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and then Himachal Pradesh.
Right.
So yeah.
So many of us are listening. Why hemp? How is it any different? And how can you help someone who's listening to make them understand how is it going to be help? How is hemp going to take over, or has it been already in the real estate industry? Like how is it any different? Is it cheaper? Is it more? What are we looking at?
Look, the whole subject of this is the future of hemp. It's called, even you, for a reason, have termed it the future. There's a huge reason behind that, is because right now it's considered to be more of a high net worth individual kind of a product, or it's for the rich kind. I'm talking about the well-being product. Forget real estate hasn't even come into the scene.
Right.
But if you ask me why hemp, I can give you a list. You just Google advantages and disadvantages of hemp. You might get like 5 disadvantages, but you'll get like 40 other advantages. Now there are ways where research is showing where the disadvantages also can be met by making it an advantage. Like, for example, low load bearing capacity is one of the disadvantages why it's not used in real estate. However, they have found out methods where you can do certain mixtures and make it as durable as steel as well. You've heard, hemp rope is one of the strongest ropes in the world. It's not one of the, hemp rope is the strongest rope in the whole world.
Right.
They use it in these, when the ships go for docking.
Oh, crazy.
They tie up the ship when they park it.
Right.
And way back for smaller ships, they used to use it as for anchors as well. So that's how strong hemp rope is. And that strength can be converted for building materials as well, interiors as well as exteriors for the real estate, which is the future.
Right. Why hasn't it translated yet? Why hasn't it already? I think since you said it's because of the banning of hemp and stuff. So is it more like a taboo, or like there was no market, but right now the market is turning around, and like we're having hemp-based products in around India, or like is there anything to do with India not participating in like the incoming need of incoming availability of hemp-based products? Because as far as I realized, as you told, there's hemp-based products in terms of beauty products, there's hemp textile, there's hemp ropes, there's so much, right? How are you looking at it?
North America is one of the regions. The second would be Europe, and third would be China, which have completely legalized industrial hemp for a simple reason being that they are more aware of the difference between marijuana and hemp. They think you can smoke the shirt you're wearing and get high, which is not the fact. You cannot smoke your shirt, which is made of hemp, and get high. And
India?
yeah, the whole thing about India is, though it was legal previously, I'm sure you've heard of the Ellora caves, Ajanta
Ajanta
Ellora
Lora.
caves. So it dates back to that time where they have used hemp and lime and a particular mixture to make those caves, which are thousands of years or hundreds of years. Our forts, in fact, Tipu Sultan's forts, where we go on treks generally, Sakshat. Those forts, how are they standing for 400, 500 years without even a scratch or a crack in the compound? But buildings over here after 10 years are cracking up, right? I'm not saying buildings should be there for 400 years, but it should at least be there for 50 or 100 years, right? That's why you're constructing huge ass buildings,
Interesting.
not to demolish it in 10 years. So there is a particular mixture of hemp and lime which acts as a binder. Hemp is a natural binder, which gives you this kind of a clayish material, which when dried in particular kind of temperatures becomes as hard as steel as well. When you look at my friend Lohit has also joined. He's also been into the vertical in understanding how the trade works. Now you ask me why isn't India implementing it? Is simply because only 2 states out of so many states have currently made it legal. Now, if I'm not wrong, it's 3 states, Madhya Pradesh. But yeah, even Himachal Pradesh would be the fourth state. And how much can you get off these 4 states as hemp fiber? And by the time it comes to South India, hempcrete or hemp fiber, it's going to be damn expensive, and it's become a HNI kind of a product, like a high net worth individual, where
Using it for niche
it's got to
purposes.
be, yeah, you use it for nutrition before going to the gym, or really where if it's used to substitute with nuts because of some nut
Right,
allergy
right,
some
right.
people have. That kind of industry, it's tapped at the moment.
Right.
But yeah, it's the future.
Right. So you were talking about affordable housing. How would that work? And talk about like the concrete made out of hemp and stuff like that. Give us more insights into those.
See, when I say affordable housing, before all of that, people need to understand something called as a green index. I know this is a government created kind of an index where you can avoid tax. For example, you use bamboo, you use sustainable, eco-friendly materials in your building. 20% of your building is made out of sustainable kind of materials. You automatically get some kind of a tax benefit. It's called the green index. You can check it out. So this green index has promoted people to use sustainable materials. Okay, but again, when you're talking about using hemp, first of all, that crop itself grows in like 120 days, and you can reharvest it instead of chopping down trees and using wood, which still they consider to be eco-friendly, instead of steel and all of that. So that is in terms of general awareness. Whichever building you build, you have to have some kind of a green index. Now, coming to the affordable housing sector, right now, the sheet monies that they build in, the sheet houses that they build in our
Bangalore.
slums in Bangalore that we see. I was really surprised to know that 200 and yeah, hempcrete is what my point is, Kiri, where 220 square feet house over here is going to cost 2 to 2.5 lakhs. I'm talking about cement. I'm talking about hollow blocks. I'm talking about a sheet on top. I'm talking about the water connection. I'm talking about everything, carpentry, etc. I built one myself in a small property that we had. It's a shed house kind, giving it out for family. But I was damn surprised that I paid, close to 2 lakhs. Even though I had so much knowledge about hemp, I couldn't do anything more. However, when hemp comes into the real estate, the same hempcrete that Katie just mentioned on the chat as well, that same hempcrete takes shape of anything that you want. I'm talking about interiors as well as exteriors. So when you have this mixture of, concrete and hemp, which drastically reduces your price, to build your exterior walls, to build your internal kitchen slabs, to even building your furniture and bedroom, beds. But that's a far-fetched idea. That's affordable home itself, not just housing. That's like homing. So yeah, that's that when we calculated, my friend, another friend, Raktam, he's not on chat, but he was the one who kind of opened my eyes towards how cost effective it can be. Till then, I knew that it's cost effective, but I didn't have the numbers, right? So then, when we calculated the numbers, a very self-sustained home, which is 220 square feet with the top floor built, a very nice design, can come up to 1 to 1.2 lakhs. A 2 lakh home can be reduced to 1 to 1.2 lakhs. And there are immense benefits apart from just being cost effective. It absorbs carbon dioxide, it's termite resistant, it's durable more than 200 years. It has good thermal insulation. You're going to sneeze.
No. I'm yawning. Yes.
Yeah, so that's the difference in for hemp in the affordable housing sector. But it's
So you were
yeah, that word, yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was just telling that the word, the future of hemp really makes a huge difference.
Right. And you're talking about it being termite repellent and stuff like that, right?
So yeah, there's this place. Of course, I'm saying it like you don't know Hawaii. You know Hawaii, right? So in Hawaii, the main issue in Hawaii that they have is termites. Where any home that is built, any house that is built, usually they use wood and timber and all of that. Any timber and wood that is being used, they get eaten. Termites eat up homes over there. So since hemp is termite resistant, that made it more acceptable in Hawaii, because they serve boats to their homes, to their cutlery, to everything where they used wood can be substituted by hemp.
Right. And is there, in respect to the Bangalore market, is there providers, is there a market for somebody who wants to like buy something or like try out something other than like beauty products and stuff, other than that, something in real estate?
Not right now. Even your hemp balms and hemp soaps or whatever you buy of these products, you're really ending up paying a lot more than what you should be. So yeah, it does not exist any kind of building materials in terms of hemp in India. So I'm doing this small kind of a research. It would be awesome if you could also guide me through documenting the whole research that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like your podcast is storing a lot of content, which is useful for a lot of people who watch it. Similarly, when I'm going to go to, Uttarakhand to find out more about uh, the process of why certain questions that I have of why and how. I would like to document this. I would like to document this and share it with you as well
Right.
for the real estate podcast.
Tell us what's happening in Uttarakhand since the opening of like the legalization. How is Uttarakhand like an emerging market?
So I have a contact over there who's working with the chief minister. Basically, the government itself is doing the plantation where it's 12,000 acres over there. Most of the hemp fiber and the hemp herd comes from Uttarakhand to Delhi or Mumbai or Indore, Madhya Pradesh side, and also goes to Dehradun, where they have these small processing units to make their. Actually, some smart companies, what they do is they hire the Uttarakhand villagers itself, because farmers are committing suicide there. might as well, pay them and get them jobs, which is a really good gesture, according to me at least. You know, providing small employments of people who have given up hope and who are committing suicide, having so much land on them. So they are manufacturing the paper or the fabric there itself, and they are selling it again to Europe and Southeast Asia and this thing as a raw material provider. Okay, that's why India is never a competitor for America or a competitor for China. They're
So the
more. It's
design,
more of a
so the design part is taking somewhere else.
It's like, look, any building material in real estate, if you take for that example, take marbles and granite. Black Absolute and Galaxy Black are two kind of marbles which are very
Sort after.
like they are available in abundance in here in India. This is taken to Italy as slabs. In Italy, they finish it, polish it, and sell it back to HNI Indians itself sometimes.
Right.
And they sell it to Middle East, of course, Saudi Arabia, where they, Antonio Lupi is one of the companies. You can check it out, Antonio Lupi. The semi-precious gemstone slabs come from Krishangarh, which is, in India. So yeah, we have always been that role where, you take the raw material, you brand it, and you sell it however you want. Just give us the,
Raw.
wholesale price.
Raw material.
But on the other hand, consumers, when you start selling it to consumers, the value itself is different just with the label
Right.
that they put.
Right. So there are a lot of developments already happening in Uttarakhand. Any other place that you are aware of? And what kind of how would you envision in probably 5 to 10 years where this market is going to be, at least in Bangalore, India?
Look, eventually, one or the other day, as Manu was also saying, Modi is going to come up and tell that hemp ko support karo. And maybe after that, it'll be legalized in one or two more states, at least, Orisa's anyway into it. So when Orissa gets legal, the trade gets better, the costs go down. It'll be more affordable. Everyone will be using it because it's highly health beneficial. Staying in a hemp home, wearing hemp clothes, eating hemp, all of this is really beneficial for your self-care, for your well-being. So when people look at your well-being given in a more affordable manner is when I feel they're going to move towards it.
Right. We spoke about the benefits, the bit of the disadvantages, and India being as a raw material provider, right? Uh, Again, affordability. We also spoke about it being cutting down the cost. Uh, so if it's real,
Look, there is demand, Sakshat. There is demand, okay, but there is no supply. What will you do? Are you going to tell Modi, go and say, hemp support karo, make in India karo hemp or whatever, or you're just going to be prepared till he's going to say that, because eventually it's a $1 trillion industry. Everyone know that. You've seen the documentary Union. For people who haven't watched the documentary Union, they have to watch this documentary to understand hemp, how big it is in North America, how big it is in Australia, how big
yeah,
it is in Europe. Yeah, it's huge. It's a $1 trillion industry. It's very lucrative.
right. So anything else that I haven't asked that you want to touch upon?
I don't know. I wrote down a few points over here. Yeah, you pretty much covered everything. Like, you just take a look around you, and whatever you say, you literally take a look around you, like the curtains behind you, or let's say the paint. There's a company called Hempel, Hempel. There's a company called Hempel which is into hemp paints. There are hemp curtains, there are hemp frames. I guess you can't make hemp glass, but yeah, pretty much everything that you see around you in your room can be made of hemp.
So do you think?
And yeah, and outside you as well.
Right. So, but do you think we need more innovation in terms of design thinking and to develop different kinds of products in India in itself and to able to sell it as a product?
Absolutely, because we have so much creative talent over here, and we are just giving it at a wholesale price just because of the INR to USD or INR to
Rates.
EUR conversions rates, where there's a lot of creative. You see, lighting industry itself. You check out the lighting industry. There's a company called VIS space A space VIS. It's run by one guy called Amit. He's based in Delhi. I'd gone to his light studio. It's like a studio come showroom kind for his light display, like a resort. It's a very nice place. So when I went there and saw the kind of lighting that he has, it was really to the European kind of standard. And
How's that? How do
that's
you
when
say that is like the European standard?
because it didn't feel like it's from India. You look at any lighting company, like you look at Cisco LED, all right. Cisco LED is an Indian company, right? You look at Array Storm, which is in Bangalore. Bumsandra is their manufacturing plant. You look at it, you know that it's an Indian brand. When you look at a European, lighting company like, let's say, Lucico, it's a worldwide brand. Let's say, LED C4. Let's say, Swarovski lighting. Swarovski crystals have lighting as well. Let's say, Preciosa lighting. So all of these companies, see, Subish Elias joined and I was talking about lighting. He's the guy who taught me a lot about this industry initially.
Right. Shout out.
So yeah, shout out to Subish. So when I went to Delhi and when I met this guy Amit in this VRV studio, I realized how much creativity and potential India itself has, but still we continue to be a raw material provider and never a competitor to European countries or Southeast Asian countries. They take the raw material and they brand it themselves, but we always look at the safer path, right? Wholesale chanagide moms, retail ella beda.
Yeah.
Wholesale onde sati sikkitre saaku,
Yeah.
enough. When you get the wholesale, you made it.
That's where like the design aspect and like the branding aspect probably comes through.
Yeah, exactly. That's why people over here are leaving and going abroad to study about design.
Right. So people watching the podcast, as someone who's probably entrepreneurial or like as an investor, what kind of opportunities? How can what are they supposed to be looking at? What parts of the hemp industry are they supposed to be looking at? What kind of action can they take before we part the episode? Are you still there?
You think they'll ask her? Yeah. Did you ask the crowd or did you
No,
ask
you. What would what should one listen? Who's listening, right? Well, what should they be looking at in terms of opportunities?
Well, in terms of opportunities, it's just about different methods of, getting the raw material. Like, again, it should have the quality, it should have the price. I don't even have to name it hemp, okay? If I come and I tell you there is a particular kind of a material which is more strong and more cheap, I don't even have to mention hemp. You're just going to buy it. What's the rate? This is the rate. It's lesser, 5K lesser than what you have. It's twice as more durable. It's, way more eco-friendly for the green index. So, yeah, you just keep an eye out on the hemp market, and that'll be.
How would we do that? Anything online?
You do that by.
How do you research?
Yeah, you do that by first of all looking at the documentary Union, and from that documentary you get a lot of these keywords like hempcrete and hemp and lime, and these are keywords where you can just go on Insta pages and start following people to be up to the market, because eventually it's going to happen. It's just a sleeping giant, like how football is in India. But yeah, eventually it's going to happen, and I want to be prepared when it happens.
That's great.
When it does happen.
That's great, bro. Best of luck for your future endeavors.
Thank you, Sakshat. Great doing another episode with you.
OG. So for those of you guys listening, I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys learned something about the real estate industry in terms of how hemp is going to play a role. And probably we'll have another episode in the future talking about more interesting things. Till then, see you guys.
From Uttarakhand.
Yes.
See you.
See you, bro. Ram.
See you, bro.